a brilliant man who can't get any money from other people and is working with a very small sum probably should work in very obscure stocks, searching out unusual, mispriced opportunities. But, you could, that's such a small world. It may be a way for one person to come up, but it's a long slog.
Yeah, most smart people, unfortunately, in Wall Street figure that they can make a lot more money, a lot easier, just by one way or another, getting an override on other people's money or delivering services in some way that people. I mean, the monetization of hope and greed, is a way to make a huge amount of money. And right now, it's very just take hedge funds. I mean, I've had calls from a couple of friends in the last month that don't know anything about that investing money. They've been unsuccessful and everything else. And, one of them called me the other day and said, well, I'm forming a small hedge fund, 125 million he was talking about. Like the thought that since it was only 125 million, maybe we ought to put in 10 million or something. I mean, if you looked at this fellow's Schedule D on his 1040 for the last 20 years, you'd think he ought to be mowing lawns. But he may get his 125 million. I mean, and it's just astounding to me how willing people are during a bull market just to toss money around because they think it's easy. And of course that's what they felt about internet stocks a few years ago. They're thinking about something else next year too. But the biggest money made in Wall Street in recent years has not been made by great performance, but it's been made by great promotion, basically. Charlie, do you have anything?
Well, I would state it even more strongly. I think the current scene is obscene. I think there's too much mania. There's too much chasing after easy money. There's too much misleading sales material about investments. There's too much on the television emphasizing speculation in stocks.
Well, I think the right strategy for the great mass of humanity is to specialize. Nobody wants to go to a doctor that's half proctologist and half dentist, and the ordinary way to succeed is to narrowly specialize. Warren and I really didn't do that, and we didn't because we prefer the other type of activity. But I don't think we can recommend it to other people.
Yeah, it was a little more treasure hunting in our day, and it was easy to spot the treasure.
We made it work, but it was kind of a lucky thing.
Yeah.
It's not the standard way to go.
The business, at least I best understood, actually was insurance. I mean, and I had very little competition. And I went to the insurance department in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. I remember one time I drove there just to check on some Pennsylvania company, and this is when you couldn't get all this information on the internet. And I went in and I asked about some company, and the guy said, "You're the first one that's ever asked about that company." And there wasn't a lot. I went over to the Standard & Poor's library on Houston Street, because they call it, and I would go up there and ask for all this obscure information, and there wasn't anybody sitting around there. They had a bunch of tables that you could sit and examine things through, and so there was less competition. But if you know even one thing very well, it'll give you an edge at some point. It's what Tom Watson Sr. said at IBM. I'm no genius, but I'm smart in spots, and I stay around those spots. And that's basically what Charlie and I try to do, and I think that's probably what you can do, but you'll find that those spots.
Yeah, we did it in several fields. That's hard.
And we got our head handed to us a few times, too. Yeah.
Hi, Warren and Charlie. My name is Rob Lee from Vancouver, Canada. Could you please share with us what do you value the most in life now? Thank you.
Well, I like to have a little more of it.
It's the two things you can't buy, time and love. And that I value those for a long time. And I've been very, very, very lucky in life in being able to control my own time to extreme degree. Charlie's always valued that too. That's why we really wanted to have money, was so we could do what we damn pleased basically in our life. It wasn't 6 houses or boats or anything. Well, Charlie's got a boat, but it doesn't do us that much good. But time is valuable, and and we are very, very lucky to be in jobs where physical ability doesn't make any difference. And we've got the perfect job for a couple of guys with aging bodies, and we get to do what we love to do every day. I mean, I literally, I could do anything that money could buy pretty much, and I'm having more fun doing what I do than doing anything else. And Charlie is designing dormitories, and I mean he's got an interesting life, and he brings a lot to it. He still reads, more books in a week than I get done in a month, and he remembers what he reads, and so we've got it very good. But we don't have unlimited time, and whatever we do to free up the time to do what we like to do, and we both maximize that in our lives, we do.
Anybody's lucky if he gets so that what he spends his time at he really likes doing. That's a blessing.
Yeah, we've had so much good luck in life. It sort of blows your mind, starting with being born in the United States, and Canada would be fine too, incidentally. I don't want to offend anybody.
Good afternoon. My name is Tony McCall, and I'm from Montgomery, Alabama. And my question is about your discipline risk evaluation approach and how you balance that with the fact that perseverance and determination and grit are often necessary for success.
Well, I'm not. I certainly like determination and grit with the people we work for, but we don't have any formula that evaluates risk, but we certainly make our own calculation of risk versus reward in every transaction we do. And it's true whether it's marketable securities, that's true whether it's private investments, that's true whether it's making an investment in a business. And sometimes we're wrong, and we're going to be wrong sometimes in the future. You can't make a lot of decisions in this business without being wrong, but we don't think the procedure or the results would be changed favorably by having lots of committees and lots of spreadsheets and that sort of thing. It just, if I had a group under me, they would try and figure out what I wanted the answer to be, and they would tell me what I wanted to hear. And I've watched that approach at 20 public companies, and what the CEO wants to do, they may spend a lot of time getting there, but the investment banker gets there, and the internal committees get there, or the internal operations get there. The calculations are it's the same as the insurance business with a G. A G gets calls on insurance deals, and you have to think through that deal. The main thing is, are you reasonably sure that you know what you're doing? And if it gets past that hurdle, then we go on to figure out the math of gain versus loss and how much loss we can afford to take in anything. And we're willing to take what sound like large losses if we think that the rewards are more likely and proportional. Charlie?
I got nothing.
Yeah, it's very disappointing. We have no formulas around Berkshire. We don't sit down and write a bunch, have people work till midnight calculating things and putting spreadsheets together. And if the hurdle rate is 15% or something, having them all come out at 15.1 or 15.2, because that's what's going to happen. I mean, you're going to get the numbers you want to hear to an extreme degree.
How much time is spent reviewing Berkshire stock holdings, and is it safe to assume if Berkshire continues to hold these stocks that the thesis remains intact?
Well, we spend a lot of time thinking. Those are very large holdings. If you add up American Express, Coca-Cola, and Wells Fargo, I mean, you're getting up, well into the high tens of billions of dollars, and those are businesses we like very much. They're different characteristics. In the case of, you mentioned United Airlines, we actually are the largest holder of all four of the large. We're the largest holder of the four largest airlines, and that is much more of an industry thought. But all businesses have problems, and some of them have some very big pluses. I personally, you mentioned American Express. If you read American Express's first quarter report and talk about their Platinum card, the Platinum card is doing very well. The gains around the world, I think there were 17% or something like that in billings in the UK, and 15% is the original currency, or the local currency, Japan, Mexico, and very good in the United States. There's competition in all these businesses. If we thought, we did not buy American Express or Wells Fargo or United Airlines, but Coca-Cola with the idea that they would never have problems or never have competition. Why we did buy them is we thought they had very, very strong hands, and we liked the financial policies in the case of many of them. We like their position. We bought a lot of businesses, and we do look to see where we think they have durable competitive advantage, and we recognize that if you've got a very good business, you're going to have plenty of competitors who are going to try and take it away from you, and then you make a judgment as to the ability of your particular company and product and management to ward off competitors. They won't go away, but we think, I'm not going to get into the specific names on it, but those companies generally are very well positioned. I've likened essentially, if you've got a wonderful business, even if it's a small one like See's Candy, you basically have an economic castle, and in capitalism, people are going to try and take away that castle from you. So you want a moat around it, protecting it in various ways that can protect it. And then you want a knight in the castle that's pretty darn good at warding off marauders. But they're going to be marauders, and they'll never go away. And if you look at, I think Coca-Cola was 1886, American Express was 51 or 52, starting out with an express business. Wells Fargo would, I don't know what year they were started. Incidentally, American Express was started by Wells and Fargo as well. So these companies had lots of challenges, and they'll have more challenges, and the companies we own have had challenges. Our insurance business has had challenges, but we started with National Indemnity as $8 million purchase in 1968, and fortunately we've had people like Tony Nicely at Geico, and we've had G. Jane, who's added tens of billions of value, and we've got some smaller companies that you probably don't even know about, but really have done a terrific job for us. So there'll always be competition in insurance, but there'll always be things to do that a really intelligent management with a decent distribution system, various things going for them, can do to ward off the marauders. So to the specific question, how much time is spent reviewing the holdings, I would say that I do it every day. I'm sure Charlie does it every day. Charlie?
Well, I don't think I got anything to add to that either.
We'll cut his salary if he doesn't participate here.